What's going on, everyone? Yesterday I made a brief video letting everyone know that the official Facebook group for the Scream 5 film was up and running. It is the Woodsboro Horror Film Club. This is the logo, and if you have a Facebook, I highly recommend you go and join that group. I've joined and I'm really excited and looking forward to it. I think it's a great platform to start this promotional tour. It makes sense that they would create a Facebook group, amass a following, which they are doing successfully, and they can put out information. Obviously, it's an official group, so there's not going to be any spoilers, but you can get updates and news and things about the film, photos, official posters, the trailer, so on and so forth. So it's just a nice platform for them to reach an audience, relay information, etc. And besides that, from my point, I'm excited to be able to communicate with Scream fans outside of this community here, and hopefully I can grow my community here through this group, and it'll be a win-win overall. So again, I highly recommend you go and check that out. But I wanted to address something in regards to the logo. There's something on this logo that has some extreme significance that I think, and I wanted to share it with you and get your opinion and have a discussion per usual, so make sure you join it down in the comments below. And before we jump into it, be sure to like this video. Helps me out a lot, lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Stay up to date with all things Scream, join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. So, let's examine this logo for a second. You got the established 96. Makes sense, you know? You got Scream released in 96. Cool. Got Woodsboro Horror Film Club. Name of the Facebook group. Makes sense. Cool. You got Ghostface. Beautiful. Front and center. Makes sense. Scream, Ghostface. Got the two knives. Makes sense. Scream, Ghostface. Does that mean that there's two killers? Maybe I'll make a video diving into that a little bit. So let me know if you want that down in the comments below. But there's something else that I wanted to address that I feel has more significance than the two blades. And that's these little numbers that are over here that are very hard to read. It looks like 9 something 1, and you may not be able to see it on screen right now, but don't worry, I'm about to enlarge it. But what could those numbers be? Could it just be the stamp? Could it just be something insignificant? Well, again, let me enlarge this for you. Now we can see the numbers clearly. 94971. Well, what could 94971 mean? What if I told you that these numbers, the 94971, was the zip code to Stu Macher's house in Scream? Now, that would be significant, right? That can't be by accident, because we know that Stu Macher's house is supposed to be in this film. We know that it's going to be to some capacity. We don't know how significant, we don't know how large, what type of scenes will be in that film. I've made videos diving into several suggestions. You know, maybe it's a historic location and people every year go and have a party to kind of, you know, celebrate the anniversary. Because a lot of towns will do that when something tragic happens. Instead of looking at it in a negative light, they'll try to sort of embrace it and bring happiness and joy to it. It's been 25 years. It would be the perfect time. It was the center of the most infamous event that happened in Woodsboro, in this small town. So it makes perfect sense that something along those lines would work. The other suggestion was that the Carpenter sisters, perhaps they live in that house. It would make sense. The film is supposed to be centered around them, and even the synopsis of the film is basically explaining the story of the sisters. And so if they were living in that house, now you have Stu's house perfect front and center. Makes a ton of sense. And what a great moment to have Sydney return to Woodsboro, because all the information we have at this time is that Sydney is outside of Woodsboro, likely the home that she was in Scream 3, because we have no information that suggests otherwise. So imagine her returning to Woodsboro, and the center of what is going on in this Scream 5 film is at Stu Macher's house, because the Carpenter sisters are the center of what's going on. So she has to go and sort of face her fears. Maybe you get a great flashback moment, and that incorporates the flashbacks into this film. It's just a nice set and a great way to incorporate the film and center it around Stu Macher's house. This doesn't mean that Stu is returning, because I know I'm going to get comments where people are like, oh, Stu, this confirms Stu. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking specifically about his home, because at this point, we know that home is in this film. And the fact that we have the zip code to that home in this logo, I don't think is by accident. Now, Wes Craven, when he was making his films, everything from the logo in the background to the shoes on the floor to, the paint on the wall, everything was done on purpose. Nothing was coincidence, nothing was chance. Everything was a misdirection or a red herring, or to take your attention and focus it on a specific point to get your mind spinning and theorizing on what is happening, what is going on. And these producers, Radio Silence, are very passionate in Wes Craven and the Scream franchise, which I'm excited for. And they want this film to mirror a lot of the original Scream. I mean, a lot of references and Easter eggs and things in this film, they have said themselves in interviews that will be very reminiscent of 96. Yes, the other Scream films will have some as well, but this is essentially 96's homage film. Like, this is the film to go to that. That doesn't mean it'll be a like for like or anything like that, but just little subtleties that you'll reference. And given the way that Wes was very meticulous about his films and the Easter eggs and things like that, I assume that Radio Silence will be the same way. So I don't see anything being an Easter egg just for the sake of being an Easter egg. I don't see anything in the background just to be in the background. I think everything will have significance. Everything will have a meaning. Everything will be deliberate to draw our attention, to get us to focus on something when something else is going on, to transition to new scenes, etc. And I don't think that this is by accident. I don't think this is by chance. Because why make the effort to go and put this on this little corner here and blend it into the logo to not have significance? Because even if you see that, most people might not even reference it, might not even realize it, because it's not the address or anything. Like, you have to go down a rabbit hole and put two and two together. You have to connect the dots on that. So even if you saw this and was curious, most people aren't going to go down the rabbit hole. Most people aren't going to put two and two together. Most people aren't going to know the difference. I mean, even if you look up the zip code for Stu Macher's home in real life, the zip code is similar, but it's not the same. So this is what it was changed to. So Stu Macher's home is now the center of this Scream 5 film. It makes sense that this is going to be a perfect tie-in into that, and that this is actually an Easter egg and a little homage to that to get fans excited. Because again, you have to go down that rabbit hole in order to really comprehend what that means and the significance. Because if you just see that, it's just, okay, it's just a set of numbers. And so having Stu's house in the film, to what capacity, again, we don't know for sure, but to have that in this film, and then to have a logo to your official Facebook group, have these numbers that tie to Stu's, to me, it just makes too much sense. Could it be something else? Could it be another tie to something else? Absolutely, of course. This doesn't confirm anything major, but I think that that's what it is. Because when you look up these numbers, that's the first thing that comes up is Stu Macher's zip code. And so having that as the sort of Easter egg on the logo for your Facebook group, I think is just a perfect tie-in. It's very subtle. Most people won't even get it or understand it, and even if they do, maybe they won't put the ties together. I mean, again, it's a rabbit hole you really have to go down. And so to see this, I'm really excited for this going forward. And hopefully we continue these Easter eggs and these little clues here and there throughout. But as always, this is a discussion, and I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this is the case? Do you not? Do you think it's just a stamp or something along those lines? Are you excited for this film? Are you a part of that Facebook group? Hopefully, I'll see some of you there, and we can have some discussions on there as well. I'll definitely try to be as active as I can. Of course, I got a lot going on with YouTube, stuff like that. But nonetheless, I am really excited, and it's really nice to see these little subtle Easter eggs, even in something that most people wouldn't even relate to the film. You know, it's a nice little clue in my opinion. But again, let me know what you think. If you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Stay up to date with all things Scream. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.